Hello, good morning, everybody. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. I want to see all my wonderful friends in chat right now. Good morning, good morning. Ah, there we go. Woo! Wow, Bastet has resubscribed for 7 months. Oh my goodness. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Welcome, Bruce. Welcome, Taz. Welcome, Johnny 3 Tears. Hello, hello. Hello. I love it. I know y'all are looking like... hold on. Number one, it's noon. A Sunday stream starting at noon? Like, what universe are we in? I'm telling you, we're in the Black History Month universe. And also, I'm sure y'all are looking in like, wait, purple on a Sunday? This is Geek Talk. Hell yeah, it is. Oh, I love it. I love it. All right. So, I love seeing all this love in the chat. So, let's get started. Let me give my little spiel. Hello everybody and welcome to Geek Talk, the talk show where we talk about everything geek. I'm your host Anthony, and today I have a phenomenal friend of mine, someone who is so wonderful, so intelligent, so strong that I look up to them so much. Saije, do you want to introduce yourself? Oh, can't hear Saije. Hold on one second. You would have thought I had that all set to go. Oh, you know what's going on? I'll tell y'all, streaming ain't easy. We make it look easy. All right, Saije, hello.
Mic check.
Can y'all hear them? Oh, hey, Ash. Perfect. All right.
We're good.
So we're good. All right. So
awesome.
what we're gonna do is we're gonna pretend that whole 2 minutes didn't happen. We're just gonna redo.
What 2 minutes?
Yeah. Right. What? Huh? Now, let me give my little spiel. Oh, I love all this love in the chat. Y'all need to direct all that love at them. They're so great. So, hello everybody and welcome to Geek Talk, the talk show where we talk about everything geek. I'm your host Anthony, and today we have a phenomenal friend of mine, someone who is so wonderful, a local activist, so intelligent, someone that I personally look up to so much. Saije, would you like to introduce yourself?
It was really nice to hear the second time around too. I'm Saije. I use they, them, theirs pronouns. I embrace feminine pronouns and masculine ones if I know you well enough. And like Anthony said, I'm a community activist. I'm also a sex worker and sometimes a server. My main goal though is to just exist.
Yeah, that's the hard part right now, right? In these times, existing.
Yes.
Oh goodness. Also, y'all, we support sex work out here. You'll hear that? I ain't hearing none of that nonsense in my chat. Spam hearts, absolutely. So Saije, tell us a little bit about yourself. What do you do?
Now, general questions I think are like very tough for me.
Okay.
I'm gonna try though. What do I do? I hear that question and I think like, what is like my goal? And my goal, like I said, is to just like exist. I want to just like go through my day to day, have my cats. I have cats like just kind of around me right now. They create a really good vibe. So sorry y'all can't see them because you deserve that. But I just want to like exist with them. I want to exist with like my passions, exist with myself, and like, you know, just kind of be and learn what that is for myself. And on the other side of that, what do I do? Like, I do some community work. That's nice.
Lots of community work.
It can be a lot. It can be a lot of community work. And I'm learning the pace with that because I jumped in very recently into community work. I've always done work in the spaces I worked in terms of just like, you know, for capital, you know, little bits of capital. But now it's kind of like I'm advocating directly for the people affected in my Poughkeepsie community rather than some corporation. And I love that. I love that. I love that so much. But I want to do it forever. Mm-hmm. So I'm learning the pace I have to keep with that.
So you said that you wanted to exist with your passions. Why don't you tell us a little bit about some of your passions?
My passions, they're my babies. I'm gonna keep looking over at them. They're over yonder. I'm gonna like really quick, just like show you.
Yeah.
I have to. I don't know if you can see. Am I aiming right?
Yeah, we can see them.
Okay.
Oh, chat's probably going to go wild.
There's one like behind the little thingy. They're so great. That is like a big part of my existence, and it's really cheesy, but like that's my family. I love those babies. And my other passions, I like gaming a lot, and I want to keep that as a passion. It's hard as an adult to keep that as a passion. So I'm like intensely liking to game.
Yo, gaming as an adult with responsibilities. Oh my gosh.
It's so hard.
It is.
My particular type of gaming that I like, MMORPGs.
Ooh.
And it's and I also like loved The Sims, but I can't play The Sims anymore because like why would I clean the dishes in The Sims and like not in my real life? And like that like really screws me up. So I'm just like, you can't play The Sims anymore because you should just be doing those things that you want to do. I don't know. That's just me now though. And same with MMORPGs. It's just like I have to really like link into that game, and it's just like I like here. I love the physical plane so much now.
What MMOs have you been playing?
Wow, I'm about to big them up. I love to love Final Fantasy because it's just
my heart.
Everything nostalgia, and it's just like crisp and like JRPG, just like wow, it's perfect. And I play WoW because I deserve to. It's a really well polished game, and I want to be a part of that. Mm-hmm. And I started playing Guild Wars 2 again last night, and that's been nice.
See, we need to see. I see Bastet in the chat right now, and we need to all link up and hop on 14, do some dailies.
I believe that, and I got my my closest coworker in like community advocacy into Final Fantasy 14. Okay. And I advertised it to her. I was like, hey, sis, like this game is a trans game. I'm telling you. And I was like beating this boss. I literally like transformed like their gender. And I don't even know. I can't remember a goddamn thing about this boss. But it was like, I was like, this game is made for trans people. Trust me. And she played it, and she loves it. She absolutely loves it. And we're trying to get all of our like trans community activist team like playing this game. And I like trans people should play Final Fantasy.
I agree. One of the things that I really enjoy about MMOs and things like that with character creation is that you get to really be who you want to be and kind of explore what you want to be and what you want to do as your characters, you know. And I wish there was I won't front. I wish there was so much more in the character customization. I wish that we could like change your weight options. I wish we had better skin tone sliders. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
It's a nightmare. And I totally can like remember how I projected myself in MMO, starting with RuneScape. I projected like my inner self into the game. You know, I would always make like a girl figured a character, like, you know, female. And starting at age like 10, you know, and like telling people like I was a girl. And I had noticed those things very early, like, yeah, I can only be like this dark, but like in real life, I'm like this dark, and that's not an option. And my hair's not an option in that. And I'm watching MMOs evolve, but like Final Fantasy definitely doesn't have that range developed for a game that's as old as it is.
I agree. We need to push. Like, we need way more black hair in that game. I mean, we got... and this is what always gets me about these games, right? For black people, what we got? We got the shaved head. We got the afro. Sometimes we get dreads. Sometimes. And then that's it.
Yeah.
Like, come on now. It's 2021.
It's kind of horrible because the locks are always one way. And I always look for the locks. I've had locks for quite some time, and the locks are always just one way. There's only one locked hairstyle, and then the other one's like shaved head in Final Fantasy. And yeah, then there's always a very dramatic afro.
Oh,
and
always.
And afros exist in so many like ranges that it's just like, why this like one dramatized one where it's just like, this is the bo afro.
Yeah. That's a fact. That's a legit fact. It's always just the big ol' comedic. That's the word for it, right? They think it's comedy. It's not comedy. It's our lives. It's not cute.
Stereotype.
It is. Thank you, Natty Ice 920 for the follow, and It's Arrows for the follow, and shout outs to Omega Key 31 for cheering 100 bits. We greatly appreciate that. What I will say, as much as I love that y'all are supporting us here at UzerFriendly, what I would love even more is if y'all use the ! support command and support Saije here. So they have, it's your girl Natalie. Hey, love ya. So they have a GoFundMe to help support their transition. Please support them directly. We also have another local activist and friend, Dominique, who they wanted to support via Cash App. If you don't feel comfortable using GoFundMe, you can use your Cash App and just send them $5. I would greatly appreciate that over any extra subs or cheers or bits or any of that. Please support them, because what we're doing here at UzerFriendly this month is celebrating Black brilliance, and who we have right now on stream is the exact definition of Black brilliance. Link is telling me campaign not found. Let's see. Oh, we gonna redo that. Give me 1 second. I pulled it from Twitter. That's important. Thank y'all for bearing with me while I do all this. Oh, that's really weird. Why did it add on random words? Oh, I see what happened. Ooh, I hear all these alerts. Thank you so much, PNW Hammer, for the follow, and Jeff for the 7 months resub with Prime. All right, now use that ! support command. We're gonna support them. That should work. Please support them, because we are here to celebrate Black brilliance this month, and right now we have the very definition of Black brilliance. I'm so glad they hopped on the show for today. So y'all give a thank you and show that love, all that love.
It is great to be here, y'all. It is great to be here. It's there's 3 of us here. My cats are also Black. They are definitely Black, and Black excellence.
There you go. Look at that.
So it's you got lots of Black excellence here today.
Exactly. Tell me that's not worth $5. I mean, that's not worth $5. You know what? Make it 10. Make it 10. I want to see.
Yeah, my cats make it rain.
Yeah, I want to see all y'all donate $10 to that support link. One more time. I want to see $10 to that support link. Hey, cheeky kitty.
Oh, yeah,
They say, Saije, hi.
Oh my gosh.
And Taz
Everybody's
says,
being real nice.
Yeah,
I love it.
I love it too. And I want them to be real nice to your GoFundMe as well.
Ooh,
or that
I'm
Cash
dead.
App.
That's true. Money does talk too. Money speaks.
Money talks. Remember on Tuesday, we had this conversation, right? And I was like, hey, y'all want to support? Y'all want to be real allies? Guess what? Boom, there it is. I made it easy for all y'all.
We have to enfranchise brilliant people so they can do brilliant things.
You see what I'm talking about? They put it into words. Thank you. I didn't know you were going to be on stream today. I'm so glad I saw Anthony live. Oh, I love it. Natty Ice, I've donated some money for my favorite person. Love my trans family.
Oh.
There we
All
go.
the love. All the
love. I love all this love. So I want to know a little bit more about you. So tell us how you got into like your passions, like your cats and your MMOs and things like that. Or even more so, your community building. I'd love to hear a little bit about that.
Oh my God, those are all such different things. Such different things. Well, MMOs, I think that started the earliest. I didn't get pets until later. Parents didn't like pets. My mother had like a traumatic instance in Jamaica with her dog, so she was just not into animals. And so like I didn't have a lot of things we could do. She was also afraid. We're all immigrant except for like my two younger brothers, and she was really afraid to like let us be outside because like I don't know, America's kind of like scary, and she didn't know how to navigate that. In Jamaica, we had a lot of land and we could run around, and she knew all the neighbors, and we traded fruit with all the neighbors daily. So like everyone knew each other and protected each other's children. In America, it's less neighborly, and she was just afraid. And I get that because like children get hurt here in that way, and it was happening a lot in the early 2000s and in like the early 90s. Well, it's just been happening for a very long time. And so like I stayed inside. I played video games with my brothers and my parents too. We were a gamer family. It was kind of like interesting because they also didn't value games. But as soon as like we got internet, I was like on MMOs. I was like, wow, this is cool. My brother showed me RuneScape and I was like, wow, I can just like click this rock and then get the ore from it. That's cool. That's really cool. And when anybody asks me, I can just tell them I'm a girl. That part's really cool too. So I just like the escape and like being able to do magic and shit. And so MMOs just became my thing early. And it just kind of evolved from there. It turned into like Shea, which is like this area games MMO. And it was like, I was like 14 playing that. And I think that was like when I knew like I was gonna play video games for the rest of my life.
I love that. I love that story. It's like I had that similar experience too, where it was like I wasn't really allowed to go outside. I'm glad that like in Jamaica, it's totally different, where it's all the neighbors and y'all trade fruit with each other and y'all all know each other. Y'all all know the kids, all the families, ancestors. Everything is very community. And where I was from, was not like that at all. It was just, my mom was like, nah, you can't go outside, and that's that. You just can't go outside. So what did I do? I'd hop on the laptop, and I'm about to date myself here, so get ready for this. I unplugged the telephone, and plugged it into the laptop so that I can get online. And then I would hop on Adventure Quest and RuneScape and Neopets nonstop. And my mom would get so mad. She'd be like, what are you doing? And I'm like, oh, but I'm in the wilderness. This person said that if I go in the wilderness that they'll give me a million gold.
I'm dead. Oh my god, heartbreaking. Been there.
Yup, that was a 2-shot. That was a double joke. So if y'all know RuneScape, y'all know what happens in the wilderness.
Poor thing.
Oh goodness, but yeah, just like you, like MMOs really allow me to just kind of express myself in a different form. And I, again, going back to it, I really wish that there were more options for a lot of these games, especially Final Fantasy, the game that I'm in love with right now, where it's like cheeky kitty, not the PK. Yeah, little 7-year-old me had no idea.
Oh, I had no idea so many times though. It was like, come on.
Yeah. Every single time my cousins would be like, no, don't worry about it, you got this. And I'm like, okay, yeah. They're like, oh, you could get all their gold. I'm like, cool. Then I'd end up dead and I'd have nothing. You have to start all over again.
Yeah, I had no skill at all in RuneScape. So when I had to like stay with the group, I just wasn't tactically there. I would lose all hours and hours and hours farming and cooking lobsters just to like lose it, trying to kill someone, and they were just better than me regardless of what they were wearing.
Oh goodness, old school RuneScape. Those are some days. If y'all don't know about old school RuneScape, that was a time and a half.
I learned a lot from that stuff too. Like, you know, your parents, like, the games don't teach you much, but like my Jamaican parents were like certain of that, but I also knew they were wrong. I knew, like, no, I learned a lot from watching Hercules. Like, that showed up in history class and I answered all those questions because I watched Hercules, the animated series on Toon Disney or whatever. Or played RuneScape. I learned a lot about smithing and ores and whatever, like all sorts of things. So I don't know. I think my gaming is also what like gave me a good base for like just like understanding some things.
So adding on to that, do you feel that you learned some life skills or anything by gaming?
Definitely not how to like cook a lobster. It's not how you do it. I don't know if there are any that are now relevant. I think like maybe, and they've like turned into other things. I think my interest in gaming and like some of the things I got from my interest in gaming, like playing Kingdom Hearts and I don't know, exploring all those worlds and then like wanting to like find out more about those Disney worlds. I have nothing that I can necessarily recall. I don't have the ability to tap in anymore and like beat anyone's ass at Smash Bros. I suck at Smash Bros. I cannot do that stuff anymore. I'm thinking about like climate change and shit now. So like all of those skills I think I had are probably gone. I think some tactile skills I may have trained on and like understand more and like can do other things well, but like most of it's gone. I've traded it for like depression.
Haven't we all? Yeah. Adulthood's rough. Being loving video games and wanting to do that like as like a pastime, and then having to worry about paying bills, going to work, cooking food, cleaning your house, your living space. Oh my goodness.
You see, our parents were wrong. It was a lot better for us to do it while we're younger. Now that I'm like older, it's like now I'm really wasting my time.
Yeah.
But like I think the immersion's really good. And I don't know, there's a part of my personality that only exists in playing video games. Like I am an asshole. I really suck still at like Smash Bros. I will get my ass kicked by the worst player now, but like I will trash talk you to the moon before the game starts. Like
Big mood, big mood. And I know we got Smash lovers in the chat. Bastat said, Saije, I like am really in love with your setup, mystical and cozy.
Oh, thank you.
I was literally boasting about it right before the interview. I'm like, oh my god, I love that it all matches together and it's all just very cohesive. I just love it. Natty Ice, I just got a Switch and I'm glued to it. I love gaming as an adult. Yeah.
I want to play Smash with these folks.
You got Smash, Natty Ice? You hear that? Saje's challenging you.
Yeah. I'll trash talk you and then you can just like ruin me.
So, you know, you asked me a question a while ago and it really resonated with me, and it's something that I think on constantly now, because I feel like this for me changes constantly and I keep adding on to it because I keep wanting to be better. So I want to ask you the same question that you asked me. What does community look like to you?
That answer has like changed so much for me. Because like I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with my life. And like sometimes I think a practical sense of community can mean like living on a big plot of land, like a nice trans refuge, a nice black trans refuge, where it's just like safe. And I have my own cottage because I need that space. And you know, however everyone else wants to bunk up, they can bunk up in that village. And we take care of each other and we hold each other accountable. In the same way, like how folks lived in Jamaica, we had that community setup established because you can't call the police in Jamaica because they'll take your things. And that's just how that goes. So, you know, it's like something like what I had in my early years. I see community as, you know, we hold each other accountable because we have to. We all watch the children because they're all our babies and we're all gonna watch them grow. Like that kind of beauty, that kind of like natural setup. It also, for me, I think can mean like if Saije decides that she's ready to like disappear in like somewhere, because that's just like kind of my vibe. I like to take off, and that's cool. And like folks know that no matter what, I'm within some, not reach, because you can't text me and expect me to pick up. That's not happening, sorry. But you can like call me and I will always pick up. I will always pick up because what's going on? You know, like that's new to me. Like, what's going on? How can I help you from wherever I'm at in life on my individual journey? So those two things, I think.
I love that answer. I love that answer. How do you feel that, like, what do you think we could take away of how to build our communities and help build each other up better?
It really is a path of integrity. I don't know if I believe that. I think like this idea of goodness is very Western. And I don't think like the people in Jamaica, like where I'm from and like my family, like we have these like ideas of good and evil. I think we know that we have to make that choice, those things that are like, that we know affect other people, and have a determination on whether or not that's good or bad. And so I think if everyone like uses their own internal thing, that do unto others as you want done unto you type thing, that's as biblical as I get. If we like practice that with each other, we're good. And I think that's where community starts. I'm not gonna hurt your child because don't hurt my child. You know, like that's, don't hurt me, I won't hurt you. What does hurt mean? It means taking my things without asking me. It means like crossing boundaries. Like it means so many things. I think just like having that kind of awareness, just, yeah, walking your awareness. And that is a hard thing. I think about that thing a lot. I think that is where my Black excellence comes from, because I've had to like sit and be very aware of like what's going on around me, because of how I show up to people, how I look towards people. That might be a little confusing.
No, that was a amazing answer. Oh my goodness. Oh, hold on. Let me pull up chat because I know chat's flipping out about this. Hold on. I got a ton of heart emojis, holding each other accountable. Bastet, yeah, exactly. I love it so much. Bastet, I can listen to them all day. Yes. Natty Ice, awareness is so important. That was definitely not confusing. Thank you for sharing that, cheeky kitty.
That was sweet.
Yeah, that's something I didn't even, that's something that for me, I like to really keep things on the forefront of my mind, right? I like to constantly think on things, and I want to always constantly improve and be better. I believe, that's my own personal belief, is that that's something that we should all be striving for, is to constantly trying to be a better person every single day. And that's something that, what you said, I really need to start putting into the forefront of my mind, is that awareness and doing things for other people and to other people, because that's how I would want to be treated. I want to support other people because I would also want them to support me in my endeavors, but not even just I feel not even just like in a selfish manner, but just in a more of a selfless manner. If that makes any sense. I hope that's making sense.
Yeah, no, exactly. That kind of question, unfortunately, is what like haunted me, growing up, or starting off, not growing up in Jamaica. I came to this country as early as 3 months old, and then back to Jamaica, kind of back and forth up until 7. I think like the indoctrination of Christianity early, like as early as just existence and stuff, and like very harsh, like the devil will come if you touch a man while no one's looking, like that type of stuff, like made me start thinking about, okay, well, like what is good? Because I don't want to offend God, because I'm already going to offend God by being gay, and I know that. Like, so like, how do I like not offend God any further with my actions? So I try to make up. I think my goodness showed up because I was trying to make up for being gay, and like knowing that, and my parents seeing that, and so like I lost my train of thought. Kind of reflecting on that, just like being really. What was the question?
Oh goodness, what was the question? So we were talking about community and about putting that into the forefront of awareness, and you said the indoctrination of Christianity early, and you were making up for being gay, and that's how you were coming up with your own definition of what good is.
Wow, that's so deep. And like, I don't really remember where it's going, but I would, if I could like add on to that, I'd say like that is what sparks me to like try and figure out like, what is goodness? How do I like be good to people? How do I not like offend like them? And then I stopped necessarily believing in this Christian God. So now it's like driven for myself, and I'm like, all right, how do I not offend people? How do I make sure everyone feels okay? Like, what does that look like? That's like kind of like backfired now, and I'm like really thinking about like how I can be okay. But I would say now I'm like, that's still a part of me. I want to do good things. I want to help my community. And I want to make sure that Saije is good too. I'm learning how important that is.
It is incredibly important, coming to terms and understanding yourself, and that's something that's a journey, and that's something that's gonna take. I'm still coming to terms with some of the stuff. It's a journey that could take your entire lifetime, and really, but I think reassessing your thought processes and reassessing the things that you think are normal, I think that's a very big thing to becoming a better person. Thank you so much for the follow, Kozlov 5K. Greatly appreciate it. Is there an equipment list? There is not an equipment list, but I will say that what we're doing is about Black brilliance, and that is the topic that we're talking on. So I would greatly appreciate that if anything is said in chat, that it is about the Black brilliance, and it's about supporting our wonderful friend here, Saije. I understand that you have well intentions, but that is not what the conversation is about. And just for that, I would absolutely love it if y'all use that ! support command and support a wonderful local activist who is the absolute definition of Black brilliance. And to be completely frank with y'all, they're giving you all of this knowledge for free right now as a favor to UzerFriendly. So please support them.
Yeah, that's true. It's for free. I feel like so much, and that's kind of what I understand about this work and why I had to start putting the breaks in. Is I was learning like, oh, it's the, like, you know, they were talking about embodying it, you know, and I really fucking was. And I was like, shit, wait, there's trauma here. There's trauma at every freaking like sector, and I have to face that. Like, you know, a second ago I stumbled because I mentioned my mom and dad. The second that happens, I have to like deal with whatever pops up at the mention of mom and dad and everything that came with that trauma. And like, that's true. A lot of what people are asking for when they have like Black folks speak about any of these things, just like my personal experience, are just like traumatic traps in something as simple as the parental figures, which can show up in any conversation.
Yeah, it's true. And it's rough because especially us as Black folk, like you said, there's trauma in like every step of the way, and what's incredibly unfortunate, and I'm gonna out some companies here, is that a lot of these companies come out and they're like, hey, oh, it's February, let's get some Black people involved. Ugh. And then they come on and they're like, hey, so how do you feel about racism? Tell me about all of your racist experiences.
Yeah.
How does it feel to be Black?
Yeah.
Huh. And then you know what they do? They blow their noses on us like we're used tissues and then throw us in the garbage until the next February. Relive your trauma for our benefit. And it's really rough. And I will even say, yesterday I came across a twit longer. Someone had received a grant. I'm not gonna put this company on blast because I didn't look too far into it, but someone had received a grant, a wonderful Black trans folk, to do more streams and to get better at streaming. And what they did was essentially just put them on full blast and tried to monetize on their trauma. It's disgusting. That's not what this is about. We're celebrating Black brilliance. We're not celebrating Black trauma. We're celebrating Black brilliance. Yeah, relive your trauma for our benefit.
So real.
It's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting.
I just learned the difference with that as I've been like trying to figure out, what am I gonna do for my own personal Black History Month journey? I live by myself. I've been quarantined by myself. And I'm like, so I've been like figuring out how to do this stuff like solo dolo with the company of my 2 Black ass cats. But it's like, I don't know, like I'm very stuck on the how.
It's rough. It's a lot, and it's a question that I feel needs to be reassessed. I know I keep repeating myself, but I feel like it's just a question that just needs to be reassessed with yourself constantly, because things change. You change as a person. You know, you aren't the same person that you were a year ago or 6 months ago. Sometimes not even the same person that you were yesterday, but just going through and kind of reevaluating like who you are and just coming to terms with that. I know like this is I won't front, this sounds like super white, I'm about to say, but hey, thank you so much, Mr. Diego 2020, for the follow. Greatly appreciate it. I know this might sound a little white, but sometimes even just really just meditating and just coming to like meditating and thinking on yourself and just breathing. Yo, Black folk deserve to breathe.
So much so. If there's anything I want that for every Black person, is to just be able to sit with themselves or sit with somebody that they can like feel comfortable with and just achieve that. It's something that like I feel like I lost. I was so good at grounding as a kid. I would read a book or just like sit and just be fine looking at a wall. Like that was my pastime, or sitting in the sun. Love that. And I can't do any of that anymore. It doesn't work.
Yeah. It's especially now, especially now during the pandemic. It's like even trying to find communities find communities that are and people that you can talk to about that, right? Really, a lot of the times it's you just going through the people that you already know, and yeah, you're with your friends, your community. Find homes away from home with your friends, community activities. Exactly. And I'm gonna just circle back, and we had a geek talk a few weeks ago, and I started crying about Final Fantasy 14 because that felt like a home away from home. It's like I will be honest, I have not left my house in like 10 months. Have not left my house at all. The only thing that I work from home, I do UzerFriendly from home. Most of the time I DoorDash. Like literally the only thing that I look at is a computer screen for about 18 hours of my day for 10 months. And it's rough. It's really rough. And you really have to keep Black folk in mind when you're thinking about these things, because it's already hard enough for us to just exist. Let's be real. It's already hard enough for us to just come out and exist. Yeah. But now, even in a pandemic, it's like, oh goodness, now I have to worry about existing. I have to worry about not getting coronavirus. And trying to build communities and find communities. It's incredibly difficult.
No, I agree. It's really tough. I think all of last year, I started off the pandemic working at a grocery store, and then that as soon as I think it was like March 17th, that's when I stopped working March 15th, and was like, I'm just gonna collect on unemployment. And then I learned how big of a protest that was, and just like kept doing that. And then I started actually working from home during all this like global uprising. And it's just kind of been, when it got colder, it's just been like me here, in here, just doing all just day to day. And even by myself, I'm trying to figure out how can I ground, like how can I take advantage of this opportunity? And I'm just, I as soon as I recently let go of that and just like been like, you don't have to excel, you don't have to extend, you can just like exist. And that's where your Black excellence can come from. Like that's how it's going to naturally manifest, because your template is already brilliant. I am already I am a good person. And so if I just follow my own flow, why I'm here by myself, my excellence will manifest. And it really, really is. It really, really has been. I'm doing a lot of work in terms of healing, inner and outer.
That's so inspiring. Y'all, I know I said this before, but I can't stop saying this. Please use that exclamation mark. Oh, look at that. Bastet's already on it. Please use that exclamation mark support command. And please support Saije. Just for that, that's like a $5 statement. Support Saije on their GoFundMe. That was like a $5. We linked, Anthony. I know. You downloaded. I was like, that's so inspirational. That's something that even I really need to come to terms with, because every day I'm just like, oh, I need to do more and more and more and more and more, and I always feel like I'm not doing enough. And I'm like, you're right, let me just exist. Just exist. That's
really my passion. I've been like saying it, oh my god, and this is gonna like twist a little bit, like it's just really what I want in every sense, in my intimate senses, like sexually. I was with this person and they were trying to like really pry my mind and figure out my kink, and I was just like scared to tell him, because like I was just like, I don't think he believes me. I was just like, dude, I just want to be seen. And that's like, it was really kind of like heartbreaking for me to say, and I realized he was just like confused. I'm just like, I don't think you understand how much resistance like there is against like me just like being who I am. Like I just want to like be all right and just like flow and like that be okay. I don't necessarily, and I want to embrace the unknown, and that like be it. Existing is really my passion of self-manifesting, and like letting that just happen any way it's going to on any particular day is the most amazing thing for me. And I love seeing that in other people too. Seeing that in Black people just existing, like that makes me so happy. There's a dude that like dances on my block or somewhere like close in my city every day, and he's just like breakdancing and doing all sorts of amazing things on a street corner. I'm just like, every time I see him, I just get so happy because like he's just doing him, and I don't know what he's aware of in terms of the world, like who's seeing him or if he doesn't care, but like what I think doesn't matter because he's still doing him, and I want that for myself to just be all right every day.
I love it. I'm like tearing up a little bit. I absolutely love that. You're right. It's just that you're just so right. just existing and just doing the stuff that you like. What is it? You're right. What does it matter? Who, that person on the street corner, they don't know, like, do they care who's seeing them? Do they care what's happening? Do they care what other people think about them? Probably not. They're just existing. They're just doing the stuff that they're passionate about because they love it. Yo, Black people are great.
Black people are amazing.
They're great.
Especially when they're just like allowed to manifest in the way that like that gentleman is.
They're great. I always think back on just like going down to the city all the time, and you know, there's actually a really specific instance. I went on a road trip with my family a while ago, and we ended up in Nashville, Tennessee. And we're walking around Nashville, and for those of y'all that don't know, that might not be as privileged as I am to be a little bit more well-traveled, Nashville is like basically a whole city, and it's a city of music, and there's music playing all over the place. There's tons of restaurants and barbecues, and they're always celebrating Elvis. We hate Elvis here, but they're celebrating Elvis. And I'm walking down the street, and there's these two Black kids, and one of the kids has a plastic bucket and drumsticks, and the other kid is dancing and doing backflips, and I'm just sitting there just in awe, where they're just so talented, and they're like doing their thing just on the sidewalk, having a good time, you know, doing all these amazing things that I do not have the rhythm that these kids had. They are probably half my age, and they are going in, and they're just existing. You gotta love it. People are just so great. I gotta circle back to that.
It's the best thing. I don't know. I think that's now, and I now have been trying to, you know, I took a step back from like everything public facing. I was doing so much public facing work in the summer as just like one of the only like Black trans individuals doing this work in my area. And I thought about that. I was like, yeah, you know, some of the people were like, wow, you're going to be on the national stage and saying things like that. And I was like, you know, that actually doesn't sound good. I don't want to do this work and it be like front facing, but I do know that I want to do this work so that like folks like me can like be able to just like have Black joy. And so like that's where I'm finding out this is how I want to do this, or I want to do it kind of like behind the scenes as much as I can, just like find ways to get other people enfranchised so that they can just like do that manifesting. Because like I don't know, when I see Black people being themselves, that makes me feel so good. I get tears all day.
I feel that. I even said it on Tuesday. I'm just like, yo, can y'all imagine just not being Black? Because I really can't. I'm like, y'all really live like this? Cheeky Kitty sends hearts.
That was one of the things. I know. Thanks for the love, y'all. One of the things I noticed when I really, a lot of my Black understanding, or a lot of what I understand about like how people treat Black people is like through the internet too. Like, you know, white people say crazy shit when they're, especially before like people became aware of that, like 2008 and shit. White people were saying crazy shit to Black people, all sorts of crazy things. And when you were identified as Black, it was over. If they didn't know you were Black, they were talking about Black people. It was crazy. It's a little different now. It's still shady, but like different. People know they can get fired for that now. But like, but like I would pick Black characters. That was something I, learned about myself, is that like as early as 12, and I was really glad, because this is early. Some people are still stuck in this pit, and that's a damn sadness. But like I learned to love my Blackness around like age 12, despite people like calling me all sorts of names or whatever, that to like discourage me from liking it, telling me to stay out the sun. Fuck no, the sun is my essence. The sun provides me so much energy. Get out of here. I sit in the sun all day. Like I pick Black characters because like Black people are amazing. I want to be Black. I love being Black. I just need being Black to be, and what Black people need is for everyone to just be like okay with Black people being Black, and Black people being Black, not like white people taking Black culture.
Yeah, louder for the people in the back. It's Black people being Black, not white people taking Black culture. Louder. I'll repeat myself one more time because a lot of folk don't understand this. Black people being Black, not white people taking Black culture.
And it actually sucks because I'm not on Twitch a lot, but there are some folks I follow, and I should name them for shade, whatever. The conversation you start, but I'm like seeing a lot of like these like non-Black trans YouTubers, like, and how their like chat communicates them, and like YouTube comments and like Twitch chats, and just like using like heavy AAVE and just like gay AAVE, it's just like wow, like, and like you're all just like non-Black people up in this chat, like talking like that. And like, I need this to be like a little different than that. I don't know. I just need this to like not be a place for y'all to express like Blackness while not being Black, and not like giving credit and love to Black people and enfranchising Black people. Like,
I totally feel that. Honestly, sometimes I'll hop in a YouTube channel or I'll hop in a stream, and I'll see some white guy go no cap, and I cringe. I cringe. I'm like, oh God. I'm like, they're like, well, actually, that's a cap. I'm like,
and I think I have watched it evolve too. Like, like most of my presence, I've kind of like, as a queer person and introvert, just like kind of mostly hit on the internet. And I've just like watched it evolve, and I'm just like, wow, y'all weren't speaking like this before. And I remember what you thought about like when people typed like this, and like what you said in response. And like now it's just like everyday language. Like this is just like how people speak. And I'm like, I recently got very settled with it, because this is like a new one for me. This is like a hot one. I love it. It don't matter, because like AAVE by nature is evolving. Blackness is evolving. We're resilient. We're surviving. The language will always change. We will always know what it is, and they will never be able to keep up, because that is how it is designed. And so like I was like, wait, you don't have to stress, because like they can keep them words, because we stopped using those words and we're on to the next set of phrases. And so like, we're like, bye.
Oh, when a white person goes hard with AAVE in an argument, like first you don't make sense because that's not your language. And what are you doing equating that with anger? Yo, facts. It's funny, even adding on to that. So there was a little bit of I wouldn't say controversy, but a little bit of white folk getting mad at Black people, as always, because one of the people that I follow, I can't remember their name off the top of my head. Oh, I am Brandon, another person that is on the Black History Month 2021 team, had made a comment, made a tweet, and said, it's a little weird to me that sus is now a part of like normal gamer vocabulary, because during like the whole Among Us phase where everyone was on Among Us, and he was like, sus was used against gay folk, and it was a slur. And also sus is AAVE. Those are words that we used like 5-10 years ago to mean like suspicious. And Like, but now we got all the gamers, all the real gamers out there saying, huh, white sus, huh. And it's just, and Brandon was just like, it's just really, it just rubs me the wrong way. And what happens? And this is the thing that I get so frustrated with, and I get so upset with, and I need people to stop doing it. People get defensive. Oh, what do you mean? Oh, what, you said we can't say that? Now we can't just say any words? All right, what are we gonna do? Oh, yeah, you're just being sensitive, blah, blah, blah. That's not what the conversation was. The conversation was just, I feel it's just a little weird that that's happening now. That was just the conversation. And that's the conversation that we're kind of having now. It's just like, it's just off. It's off-putting. It's off-putting, and we shouldn't. Really it's really off-putting. Don't be defensive in these arguments. Just shut up and listen. That's all you got to do. Shut up and listen. Like, if you don't, if you don't agree, you don't agree. Nobody needs to, like. I said this. I said this. Ain't nobody care about your opinion, especially if you ain't black. Ain't nobody care about your opinion. You have nothing new to add to the conversation, so please just stop. White people want to be oppressed so badly. Yep. So bad. So bad. So bad. I got people in my DMs. You don't know what I've been through. I don't care.
Yeah, dude, it's not a contest. I do not want to like face our traumas off each other. This isn't the ground for that.
It's like okay, cool. And I say that as a white woman. Yeah, I mean, it's important to understand that. It's important to understand that and come to terms with that. It's like the first step of being a real ally. It's just understanding and listening. And yeah, white people do want to be oppressed so bad. So my next question for you. What do you want the future of Black History Month to be?
I feel like I've been like, 7 days into Black History Month, and I've been like, shit, like, how do I express this? I think if it were just like, I don't know, honestly. I just want it to be realer. It's corporate, it's the same as like, not the same, it's way different than like how Pride is set up, but it's just like another opportunity for corporations to like show up or whatever, for white people to feel good about themselves even, but except for the fact that like Black people are doing whatever it is, we're figuring it out. But I'm saying like for where it doesn't concern Black people and how we have to figure it out, and like we have to figure out what that means for us during this month, I think like I just want the non-white folks to just like, y'all figure out what you're gonna do during this time. How are you gonna become a better ally during this time? What are you gonna learn? Like, what are you gonna do with your money? You know what I'm saying? Like, you gonna treat yourself, or you gonna like allocate some funds? Like, yeah, that's really what it is. I don't think it has to be anything for like Black people in particular. We can figure that out. That's gonna be a very big conversation. But for non-white folks, I need them to get it together. I need them to really get it together.
I agree, 100%. I agree 100%. Speaking of allocating funds, yeah, Bastet. Speaking of which, I think there's a command. There it is. There it is. Speaking of, absolutely. Please support Saije there. Yeah, I agree with you 100%. It's really tiring. First off, when this first started happening over the summer, Bastet and Jeff and Lewis and all of them heard me screaming about this because I was getting real frustrated. I'm like, I don't care about your white text on a Black background. I don't care. I don't care. Right? I don't care. I don't care about your pure Black profile picture. I don't care that you have 3 letters in your bio. I really don't care, right? Let's ask this. How many Black folk do you have working for your company? And out of those Black folk, how many of them have actual power and say over the things that you do in your company? And then even in you want to break that segment even more, how many of those people are black trans folk? How many people of those people are black women? Answer those questions. How are you actually helping fix the issue? How are you fixing those economic gaps? How are you reaching out to more of those communities that are underprivileged? I mean, you know, it goes back to there was a huge thread a few weeks ago, maybe even a month ago, about the large amount of racism that was going on at Google, large, for a very, very long time, and how they had fired their diversity manager. I believe that's what their title was. They had a diversity manager, black woman, because they always rely on black women to fix all their problems. Let's be real. Come on. It literally, we can rewind a couple weeks ago when everyone's like, thank you, Stacey Abrams, for making it all blue. Yeah. And it's like, you really think that black folk were the issue here? You really think that was the issue? You didn't think about talking to your centrist mother or your centrist sister? You know, you didn't think about talking to Aunt Karen or Uncle Bill? No.
That is just hilarious. Those are my ex's uncle and aunts. My white ex. I'm fucking dead.
I just, you know, it's how it be. And it's like, tell me how you're actually fixing that. And what happened with Google was they had refused to reach out to primarily black colleges. They refused. They said that there were no the people there were not up to the opportunities at Google. And they asked why. It's like, oh, well, you know, people don't really apply when they go from there. And it's like, well, I believe it was the University of South Carolina. Don't quote me on this. But they're like, explain to me why you think that. It's like, oh, well, you know, the education there's not that great. And yeah, no, there's definitely nobody there that would be a good fit for Google. And she becomes the diversity manager and immediately changes that, has Google have a presence in, we're gonna say University of South Carolina because I think that's what it is, and immediately 17% increase of black folk getting hired that do all the work. Yeah, that's the perform, you know, it's performative. I don't care about your BLM. I don't care about your hashtags. I don't care about your retweets. I don't care about your black profile picture. I don't care about your white text over your black background, right? I don't care about any of that. I care about what you're actually doing to fix the issue, fix the root cause of this issue. And that's something that I'm thankful for. I'm not trying to sound like a shill, but I want to actually appreciate some of the stuff here. I'm thankful for Twitch, because Twitch actually reached out and understood that there is a large problem in where black creators aren't getting the viewership, right? White mediocrity is celebrated way more than black excellence, way more. And I'll call them out. Let's talk about XQC, Tyler One.
Yeah.
Like all Pokimane, whatever. It's like a lot of these folks, you know, they get better viewership primarily because they are white, and black folk, we have to work harder. We can't have the same quality of stream that XQC has with their Logitech webcam, no ring light and stuff like that, and still get the same and still get the large allowed amounts of views. They're all it. I agree with that. I would agree with that statement. Absolutely, Cherry Kitty. They're all pretty bad, but you know, we don't get that. And Twitch said, we understand that, and here we are. We're gonna put you on the front page. And they've been highlighting a lot of the black creators that have worked their butts off, like butts off for that. And no, you're good, Cheer Kitty. And I'm thankful for Twitch for that. But you know what I want to see? I want to see this same thing next month in March and April and May and June, July, August.
No, truly.
Yeah, right?
Truly.
I want to see all that. I want to see.
You're late.
Yeah, you're late. It's
You gotta make-
2021. Yeah, I want to see this all the time. I want to see them reach out all the time. I want them to be like, you know what? We need a new caster, and we want to make sure that we're diverse. We're only looking for black folk. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. I want to see that. I want to see more of that. And then for the white folk that get mad, guess what? I don't care.
Truly. Those insensitive ass internet assholes, yo.
Mm-hmm.
Yo.
Oh, goodness gracious. So, kind of leads into my next question, but I just want to know, what advice would you give to your past self?
It's true. We're talking about my past self is my baby. Like I've been thinking back and I'm just like, yo, I'm gonna do this for you. I'm gonna do this for every dark skin AMAB, queer AMAB, femme-ish AMAB with like a burly body type shit. When I think about my past self, I get very emotional. Because I'm trying to live on that level of purity. And it would literally just be to be yourself. That was the coolest version of myself, is my past self, is to be yourself authentically. I don't know what it is that I lacked that like so many, that I'm definitely developing now, but like there's something about dark-skinned queers, AMAB queers that I've seen. I don't know a lot of AFABs, I can only speak for AMABs in my experience. When they show out, when they understand themselves and like, again, are allowed to manifest, whether that's through like usually loving people around them, they do so well. And that something I noticed about them, the ones I grew up in school with, who are just iconic gays in my book, like just the most amazing people, they have just always been themselves. And that's what stuck. And everybody wants to be around them because they know that about them. And I think as adults, we know like the most valuable thing is someone who's like okay with being who they are. You can do anything, you can just be happy, and that's valuable.
It's true. You're 100% right. That's some great advice. You hear that, y'all? Be yourself. Be yourself. Learn who you are and just be yourself. And it might take time for you to come to terms with it. It took me a very, 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 very long time to come to terms with who I am. And I spoke about that on Tuesday. So if you haven't seen it, it's on YouTube. The whole kit and caboodle, 2.5 hour long talk about it. It especially for black folk, and especially for black folk that live in primarily white areas, it's hard. It's really, really, really hard. But I want to let you know that you are not alone, that there are more of us, there are a lot of us, and that we do love you, and that we support you, and that you do not need to be afraid of who you are. You do not need to be afraid of your skin color. You don't need to be afraid of your gender identity. You don't need to be afraid of your sexuality. You are not alone, and we will always be here to support you. Because what's important, especially for black folk, is that we need to lift up our own, because ain't nobody else doing it for us.
Yeah. You're
have.
Just so much better off, not even just for like not repressing it, but loving it. Because the truth is, like, you really, really are beautiful, like incredibly beautiful as you are. So you're just better off loving it, like first, before anybody else.
Cheeky kitty, can I just say I watched the VOD, and when I saw my boyfriend next, I was like, did you know pools are racist? Thank you for all your information and time and energy. Truly, thank you. I greatly appreciate that. And this is perfect segue. Thank you, Saije, for coming out today and talking. It's been phenomenal. I greatly appreciate it, and I love that you even gave me here some things that I need to sit down and ponder on. I love it.
I mean, literally anything for you, Anthony. You're incredible. I always appreciate that you get on here and do what I am learning. I have like no tolerance for. It literally drives me insane. So I admire you and your ability to like not endure, because you're doing more than endure. You are really teaching folks and taking the time, and you're handling them too. You are handling them. I've stopped it. I'm like, whoa, okay, Anthony. and tapping in, because I stopped in on Tuesday, and I did get to catch a lot of that, and there were so many parallels. And I was trying not to do that thing where you're like comparing stories, but it's like, you know, there was just so many parallels, and I was just like, God, I feel all of this, and it's so much, and I'm just like, how are you able to do this? Because this is, I'm not able to. I can't get up here and just talk like that. So I appreciate your ability to do that, and that inspires me. Thank you.
That means the world. Oh my Lanta, I'm taking that quote and I'm gonna hang that on my wall. That means the world to me.
Bless
so
you.
Saije, so where can our wonderful viewers, our wonderful community support you?
Where? Oh man. Okay. Yeah, it's monetary. People are so good at figuring out what they need when they have enough to do it. So the money, it's my friend's birthday, who's from the same area I am, and she's doing activism work up in the state capitol. And if we could just like allocate funds to her for her birthday, so she can celebrate for herself during this pandemic on this snowy day, that would be lovely. And if y'all want to actually help a bitch out, that's fire too. I actually, and I'm gonna spill that tea. Y'all can know the few of y'all that are in here. There's a lot of y'all actually. Damn. I just actually had my first, and we don't know if it's gonna be the last or whatever. None of your business. But like, I had a gender confirmation surgery. We don't call it that. I don't know what we call it that. But a bitch got snatched. You know, a bitch got snatched, and this is a very expensive upkeep, and I want to upkeep it. So if y'all want to donate so I can continue being myself and enfranchising myself, that's fire. Enfranchise me and my friend, yo. Thank you.
Love it. Y'all heard it. Saije came on this show and gave y'all some great knowledge, gave me knowledge for free. So please support them. Please support them and support their friend. It's their birthday. Drop $5 in that Cash App. $, Diamond Dynasty 27. Drop $5.
Great too.
It's $5.
On a personal level. So
yeah,
great.
that's not even a meal at McDonald's. That's not even a meal at McDonald's, and that would make someone's entire life. Natty Ice, love you, Saije and Anthony. Y'all are incredible. Thank you. Thank you. So before we go, I need to tell this story, because this story, it sits with me, right? So Saije and I are in this group, right? This Facebook group. And all these white folk coming on, making all these posts, this, that, and the other thing. Oh, this, that. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, yo, I can't with this. Because they think they're helping. They think that they're helping and they're not, right? And then Saije gets on and makes this beautifully written post. That's like, y'all need to cut it out, and y'all need to actually listen and support us, because you're just talking over us. And what happens? White fragility kicks in, as always. Oh, we're doing this, we're doing that, blah, 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 blah. Martin Luther King Jr. wouldn't like what you just said. I was like, oh my goodness. And I sat there, I saw that post, and I don't even know if you know this, Saije. I saw that post and I screen capped it and I sent it to Bastet, and I was like, this person right here gets it. And this person literally just said the things that I have been thinking about for weeks. I was in this group for weeks seeing all this crap, and you just said it. And I was like, Thank you. And I you know, I'm on front. I was scared. I'm sometimes I'm scared of white folk. I'm like, yo, I ain't trying to get you know, I was like, oh
Yeah,
goodness.
whatever.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
went up there and you fought those beasts. And then the beast came in the comments and I was like, no, I had to back you up. I was like, absolutely not. And I was like, nah. And
Wasn't
I
there, like,
just
a white girl in there too who was just like, I'm a trans girl, and I was just like, what are you like? I don't know. What are you just like missed it? You just like missed it. They were all just like missing it. I think that summer was when I just like checked out and I was like, there has to be more. There has to be more than this because I refuse to believe. Yeah.
yeah,
It took me a sec to remember which one you were talking about because I've started like just like blocking those things out. You know, I'm actually on a 30-day ban right now that's ending in like 4 days. You know, I don't know. These people.
They're wild. White folk are wild. You say one thing and instead of just listening, it's just, well, you see here. And I'm like,
King taught love. Like, stop it. King is ours. Leave him alone. Stop trying to take Martin Luther King. Like,
yeah. You think these activists actually have black rights? And they might. And it's just, but the thing is, they probably don't listen to them. Clearly not.
I've really come across, and I think my first sets of folks where I was just like who are activists. I get nervous when I meet white activists now. I'm just like, I was like, okay, so like you're on this part of the spectrum, you know, of learning, but that's scary to me because like I don't know what your harm's gonna look like and when it's gonna show up because I'm supposed to expect that you're supposed to not do this less, but you're gonna surprise me anyway. So I've met like someone who's actually like has a lot of power, who is this activist here, an abolitionist, and is like causing a lot of harm. And like we've all checked him, and I've checked him, and I just like I took a break after that. 'Cause I was just like, wait, you didn't listen to me, and I have this lens, and you're a whole gentrifier, and you don't get it, and like I can't like stress myself out with this no more. So I've like taken a break, and I'm just like, you know what? Let me just
exist.
Let me just exist.
There it is.
Exist.
So thank you so much, Saije, for coming out today. Make sure to use that ! support command and support Saije and their friend. They do some really great work, and honestly, it's been an absolute honor. If y'all don't know, we stream every Sunday morning and Tuesday night for Black History Month only. Maybe even a little bit after, who knows, but for Black History Month, every Sunday at noon will be wholesome Sunday, quote unquote. So it might be geek talks like this, but it might be back to playing games with folks, but we are highlighting and celebrating Black brilliance. That is what we are all about this month. And even after this month, I have been working my butt off to make sure that I have met with every Black content creator on Twitch that wants to really push and be better and do better. So we all will see a lot of faces that you may know. Y'all might see faces that you may not know, but you know what y'all are all gonna do? Y'all are all gonna support them, and that's a fact.
Damn.
So-
Anthony, you do such great work. Seriously, so inspiring.
Thank you. So thank you again, and thank you, chat, for coming out. Y'all are phenomenal. Am I allowed to suggest more streamers? Sure. The DMs for UzerFriendly are open, so if you are you can go into the Discord and you can talk to us there. I'm in there all the time. It is a community safe space in which we all get to learn and enjoy geek culture together. It is incredibly diverse, and we get to talk about video games, comic books, movies, Gundams. Ash has been in there building Gundams, and I love it. And I mean, even Kat loves talking about like Megan the Stallion. Like it's so fun. It's a lot of fun in there. The other day, we literally sat in the call watching the Final Fantasy 14 showcase for the new expansion. It's just a bunch of us. It was like 8, 9 of us just vibing in the call, like, goodness, look at that new job. It's so cool. Yeah, absolutely. One is partnered, one is not. Thank you so much. You'd be shocked because I might even know who they are. I'm actually in a Discord with a bunch of other Black content creators on Twitch, so and it might not be that far off. But again, thank y'all all so much. If you haven't, hit the follow button here and hit the notification bell to get notified when we go live. It's a great help, that notification bell, which I learned in a workshop. I had a meeting with Twitch on Friday. Can't talk too much about it, but using that notification bell to get notified when we go live helps us tremendously. So even if you can't support monetarily with a subscription, maybe you're a little shy and can't join our Discord, just hitting that notification bell will help us tremendously. So thank you all so much for coming out today. Yeah, hit that bell. And I am so excited to see y'all on Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, because I actually have an entire group of Black content creators, and we are going to celebrate ourselves by having fun on Jackbox. Yeah, that's the announcement. I got a whole group of Black content creators that I'm really excited to work with. I love them all. They do some really phenomenal work, and I'm so hyped to have more people come and support them. So hit that notification bell, and we'll see you on Tuesday night. Have a wonderful day, guys. Enjoy your weekend. Bye.
Thanks, y'all. Happy Sunday.